Hello friends, this is Akul Mike Live and I'm Chandrakant, and today we are actually going to talk about one of the big achievements that India has made in terms of the microprocessor, and this is called Shakti chip or Shakti microprocessor. There is a big history behind it and there is a story of success. So don't go anywhere. I will meet you with the complete analysis after a word from our sponsor.
This video is sponsored by Performance Works International.
Are you ready for the challenges facing the modern workplace? Recent events have taught us the importance of transformation. Businesses now face a perfect storm of challenges. No business is too big to fail, and many are too slow to succeed. Our workforce is changing fast. We're entering a new age of empowerment, and everyone can contribute. The Inner CEO reveals how we can all play a part in making leading at all levels a reality. Written by Jeremy Blaine, an expert on business transformation and growth, it provides a roadmap to help everyone unleash their inner CEO and contribute beyond their job role, whatever their level. Traditionally, strategy has been owned by the few. Now it's time for the many to contribute. Leadership must come from a broader base. Everyone has the potential to step up and make things happen. It's a new model of collective and collaborative leadership which unleashes the power of people, enabled by appropriate technology and a supportive management structure. The book provides a roadmap for a bold new age of empowerment. Supported by a range of resources, the book provides a toolkit to help anyone unleash their inner CEO. Organisation health, development and growth is owned at all levels. Are you ready to unleash the inner CEO?
Welcome back friends, and the big news is the Shakti chip, which has been produced by India, and this is actually going to change a lot of things for Indians and for the world. Why? I think we first need to understand how this chip industry it works, and how it will basically impact the mobile industry to start with. So usually when you look at the other brands like Samsung, LG, iPhone, etc., almost most of them use the Snapdragon, except the iPhone use their own, and they have also announced that they will be going forward maybe using Snapdragon. Now Snapdragon is a very old chip which has been produced by a company called Qualcomm, and so Qualcomm supplies this chip to Samsung and others so that they can just fit this chip into their mobile phones and can go commercial with it. But it's not really the Qualcomm which actually did the R&D and produced the chip. There is another company called ARM. They actually designed the whole chip. It's like when you're building your house, there is an architect who actually designs the layout of your house, and your architect will decide, hey, this is the foyer, this is the living area, this is your kitchen, etc. So this is similar to that activity where ARM designs the chip, and this design is then provided to a company like Qualcomm, which will then produce the chip. And when we say when we produce the chip, that means every mobile will have at least one chip. So the Qualcomm will actually build their supply chain in order to fulfill their requirement. And as we know that the population of the world is growing, and the demand for mobile devices is increasing like never before. So Qualcomm is always chasing the market requirement. They're always chasing it. So whatever Qualcomm do, the number of chips required, which is Snapdragon chip required, will be always in shortage. And since it is in shortage, the cost of Snapdragon chip is quite high. In fact, if you buy a good mobile phone and you pay something like $500, 50% of that cost is the cost of the chip. It is so expensive. And once the Qualcomm basically produce these chips, it is then transferred to whoever wants, like Samsung, LG, and any other company, Android phone manufacturers like OnePlus brand, etc. So why Shakti is going to change the whole paradigm? Well, Shakti is not something which is being developed like 10 years back. It just started, and Shakti is no different in terms of how the industry works. So Shakti is basically designed. It's a design basically. It's designed by IIT Chennai, and this whole project was funded and sponsored by ISRO, because ISRO can become their premium client, because they need chips in every machinery which they are sending to space. Now this chip can be put into a small PC, it can be put into in a mobile device, and the whole game plan is, it's not that it is going to compete with Snapdragon. No, Shakti is just entered the market, and Snapdragon has been around for last 20 years. So Shakti is going to change the market dynamics in the form of reducing cost, because Shakti will be a lot cheaper, and it has two variants which are 32-bit and 62-bit, and both variants are available. And the best part is it has never happened actually in the hardware industry, where the Shakti designs are put up as an open source. Friends, you heard it right. The whole thing is open source project. So that means anybody can download the design and can value add. So it is coming free, and open source is a very established industry right now, and that will change the whole costing structure around the mobile phone. When this chip is available at a very low cost, the designs will be downloaded by numerous other players. They will do further R&D. They will modify this chip in a way that it has more features, and it will be very, very low cost as compared to Snapdragon. So the title of my video is, it is the brand killer, and certainly it is going to give a lot of competition to established players like Intel or Qualcomm, and especially to start with, because it has just started, the journey is going to just take off. So it is going to then change the market dynamics in terms of availability. Unlike the demand and supply gap in terms of expensive chips like Snapdragon, this Shakti chip is likely to fill the supply chain gap there. And for not so powerful devices, it can start the revolution. It can add to the revolution. It can fulfill the requirement, because in every device we don't want to put Snapdragon. There are so many different utilities are there, where you don't need such a powerful chip in order to do that activity. So you can actually go ahead and use a chip like Shakti in your mobile device and can get the whole thing to work. So once the Shakti low cost chip is ready, and different variants of Shakti chip will be available in the market, there'll be manufacturers like Samsung, LG, etc. They will actually sprung up across the length and breadth of India, who will start making different devices, different types of microprocessor control devices, voice control devices, and so on. Because when we talk about different the future, where we want our voice to actually convert into commands for our light switches, for our fridge, for our AC, etc. But who's going to provide all this backend technology? Definitely you need a device which will do that. And if the device is as expensive as your AC, then obviously it's not a starter. This business is not going to take off. Therefore, this Shakti chip and its devices, which it will power the multiple mobile devices, will fill in that gap which is there in the supply chain of mobile devices. So that is why this is a very, very exciting news, and it is open source. I think IIT Chennai, IIT Madras has done a fantastic job of making this very powerful chip and also making it open source. So this is something that I thought I will bring it to you. Before I end my video, a big thanks to Performance Works International for sponsoring this video. Their book Inner CEO is a classic, is a bestseller, and if you are a small business owner or an enterprise chief executive, you need to bring out your inner CEO by reading this book. So friends, the link for reserving your copy is in the description below, and I will catch up with you next time with some other interesting topic. Until then, I like to say goodbye.